Greetings everyone and welcome to the Music House. This is where you watch, listen, learn and play. So today I'm going to share a lesson, and this lesson is meant to help us achieve three things. Number one, it will help us with finger discipline on the fretboard. Number two, it is meant to help strengthen our finger muscles. And number three, it is meant to help us with finger flexibility, which eventually will help us grow our finger speed on the bass. This lesson is meant for bass players, especially the beginners. So if you are an intermediate or advanced, you can still use it, but I know this one is simple for you. But is meant for those who are just getting started, or perhaps a few months or few days into it. Yeah, so let's get started. So for this exercise, we are going to use two scales. The first scale is a major scale, and the second one is a minor scale, which is a natural minor. I'm going to use the key of C, but you can use it anywhere. You can start anywhere, because for guitar players, you know that we use shapes, and we can bring the shapes to any place on the fretboard and still use it. Okay, so for this exercise, I'm going to use the C major. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Okay. For the number system is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, which is 8. Or do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Do, ti, la, so, fa, mi, re, do. Alright. Yeah. Then the second one, you are going to use the minor, which is for the minor, we just flatten the third, okay, and we flatten the sixth and seventh. So using finger 1, finger 3, finger 4, next finger 1, 3, 4, then finger 1 and 3. That's how to make it simple. There are other shapes you can use, but for this one we're going to use this shape. That's the minor. Alright. So major scale, I'm using finger 1, finger 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 3, 4. Then you just come back the way you went down. Alright. Yes, so those are the two scales we're going to use for this exercise. So we're going to use the arpeggio for the exercise. Arpeggio simply means you take 1, the first note, the third note, the fifth note, and the 8th note. But in this case, we are going to use the first, third, fifth, and the 7th for the major scale. So 1, 3, 5, 7, which makes it a C major 7. It's also good to understand the chord system as a player. So it's a C major 7, 1, 3, 5, and 7. When you take 1, 3, 5, and 8, that's a C major. But when you take 1, 3, 5, and 7, that's a C major 7. Alright? Yes, so that's the scale you're going to use. For the minor, you also take the 1, 3, 5, and 7. Remember, we are playing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright, so just taking the 7 in our degree system. So 1, 3, 5, and 7. So for the major, 1, 3, 5, 7. For the minor, alright. So those two are the ones you're going to use all through the fretboard. So when you start on C, we will go all the way up to C. on the 15th fret. So you start on the 3rd fret and end on the 15th fret. Alright? So we're just alternating between the major and the minor. So I'm using the C major 7 and the C minor 7. Okay? We're using the major 7 and the minor 7. Alright? Let me take it slowly. So 1, 3, 5, 7. Notice the fingers. I'm using every finger for its fret. That's where the discipline comes in. For the minor, I'm also using the discipline. Every finger on its intended fret. Finger 1, finger 4, finger 3, finger 1. So those two, alternating between the two, and then afterwards you move half step. So we are starting on C, next we go to C sharp, next we go to D, then D sharp, like that. Alright? You get the point? So let's take the exercise slowly. Go like this. Next. 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 Yeah, so once you practice that and you feel like now your fingers are moving, you can then try increasing the speed. The best way to practice is to use a metronome. You can start as slow as 60 beats per minute. You go to 80, you go to 100 slowly until you feel like your muscles have really, you've mastered the thing well. All right.